Hello, I am Azazel, and we are going to watch a Joe Biden gaffe compilation and see if we can find evidence of his cognitive decline and come to an immature sort of diagnosis based on that evidence. Just a pure fun. Alright, here we go.
Look, here's the deal.
Let me say this simply and clearly. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. You know how we talk about it.
Yes, okay, here's the first bit where he can't remember something that is very important to remember, especially if you're a politician that's been in government for 9 million years. And memory loss is indicative of cognitive decline. Now, he may just not remember this, and we can't just take this one little piece and say, oh, he has dementia. So, but it is something to note.
We the people, folks.
We gotta. It's just. Yeah. But you gotta. I mean, we gotta reassure. Look, here, my message to everybody I talk to is play the.
Hold on. That whole thing, he couldn't get a thought together. He couldn't express a thought, a single thought. He wanted to. He couldn't string the words together. So right now we have memory loss and an inability to string a sentence together. Oh boy.
The radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone, make sure the kids hear words.
So he just went over a bunch of stuff that were popular back in from like 1920 to the 1980s. Nothing recently, right? And people with cognitive decline, especially with dementia, if you want to make them happy, you will play them music from their era, from where they grew up and developed into an adult. Whether it be 1920s, the swing music or something like that. That truly gets through to them. So this has a similarity in the fact that he's trying to relate to the people of the country using, you gotta listen to the radio, gotta listen to the record player, gotta watch the television. All these things are seemingly outdated now, right? Oh my gosh.
I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
What the hell is he talking about? What does this have to do with anything? This is what happens when we get into the middle of a conversation not knowing what's going on. Alright. That's a weird thing to say.
Look at it. So I learned about roaches.
Roaches? What's a roach? Like a cockroach? What does that have to do with anything? Oh my god, I don't know anything. Hold on. What are roaches Biden refers to? Hairy legs and roaches. Joe Biden refuses to explain what he meant by roaches. Is it a derogatory term? It has to be. And I'm just reaching here. Is he meaning a derogatory term towards people of color? That's a bad thought. I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment.
I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Oh my fucking god. Oh, this man. I can't believe he got elected. Imagine anybody else saying, I love kids jumping on my lap.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
White kids are not poor. No white kid is poor. What a buffoon. And also, this is a semi-quasi-racist statement to say that as well. Right? Because it insinuates that the popular perception is that kids of color or brown or black kids are generally poorer than white kids or are not as successful, right? Which, unfortunately, it may not be a racist statement. It may not be, because the destitution within the black communities is something to behold, truly. But he's speaking in generalities here, and I'm not I'm not going to say anything further on this.
There's during World War II, where Roosevelt came up with a thing that was totally different than he called it the World War II. He had the War Production Board.
What the hell is? Oh my God! This poor man having to actually listen to that in real time and try to make heads and tails. So War Production Board. It took oh my God! You see the cognitive decline there. You see that him struggling to find that memory.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. $1.2 billion in overtime was denied for hourly workers who were not unionized. $1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happens? They make you management.
His first point was there was $1.2 billion that was not paid to the workers. And then he goes on to say that if you do your job, you get promoted to management. I don't know what his point is. Exactly. Crickets.
So would you like to say a couple words?
Am I supposed to speak now, or?
This is indicative of cognitive decline, not knowing when you're supposed to speak, as somebody who's one of the most important politicians in the country. Oh boy.
Is Karen supposed to speak? I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble here.
He gets in trouble. He has an element of control over him by somebody. And I know that if you're a politician, that you have to police your words very carefully, or your campaign manager will give you shit. Maybe that's what he's referring to. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
Oh, it's me. Okay. Well, there's that great philosopher, and he talked about Jill puts notes up on my mirror when she wants me to, where I shave, to get messages across to me.
Oh my gosh, this man cannot talk. This man cannot talk. It's hard for him to talk. It's hard for him to put a sentence together. 2. What do we see here? We see 2 things that are seemingly unrelated, right? He says, there's that great philosopher, and he doesn't, what philosopher? What are you talking about? And he talked about Jill puts notes. So this great philosopher talked to Jill about putting notes on his mirror so that he could remember things. You gotta tell me that that's indicative of cognitive decline. If you have to put messages onto a mirror so you don't forget something, people do that with people who have dementia all the time, right? Oh, it's not looking good, guys.
And what presidents say matter.
The former vice president suggests the black community lacks diversity of thought.
That seems like a racist statement, Joe.
We choose truth over facts.
Biden complimented the town before incorrectly identifying which state he was speaking in.
Joe Biden forgot.
He doesn't know where he is. That's a symptom of dementia. Okay, so let's sum up. He can't string a sentence together. Cognitive difficulty, right? He cannot remember things. His wife has to give him notes and put them on the mirror so he can remember things. He can't remember where he is. It's not looking good for this guy.
Thought he was in a video live stream and abruptly walked off camera.
And I spent an hour and a half today on the telephone. I mean, on what we're doing right now on camera.
Biden making a series of unusual rhetorical detours at the town hall dedicated to health care.
Imagine what would have happened if, God forbid, Barack Obama had been assassinated after becoming the de facto nominee.
The first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright
and
clean and nice looking guy.
I mean, none of what he said was incorrect about Obama. He had all those qualities. But to say that he was like the first one, or what, is that what he said? I may be mistaken. I don't want to rewind it. But that's just a weird thing to utter.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump.
If you notice, I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me. The only African American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people. My point.
He's just incorrect on this point. I'm not going to hold this against him. He's incorrect. It's not indicative of memory loss. It may be, because he's incorrect, but I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's not true. The other one is here.
How embarrassing.
I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. I mean, come on.
The NAACP does not endorse candidates for political office at any level.
He may just be using that as something to bolster him. He may be lying. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
How many unsafe bridges you still have here in the state of Ohio? I mean, Iowa. And I was just in Ohio because they have more.
He forgot where he was again. He forgot where he was. When you forget... That's a classic symptom of dementia. You hear this all the time of people, leaving... People with dementia leaving the old folks' home and wandering and being found in another state. They don't know where they are. That's a classic symptom of dementia.
It is important that Iowa and Nevada have spoken, but look, I love this place. Look, what's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it?
I don't need to say anything here. We've covered this.
What a neat town. Look, tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all.
It might have been a speech thing. Might have, because I heard he has something of a speech issue.
I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Kingswood Community Center.
He can barely talk. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, that's the wrong... I shouldn't be laughing. This is tragic. He doesn't know where he is right now. Never mind the state, the actual location inside the state. This is getting worse.
That's the one down I used to work. It was a joke.
It was a joke.
You know where we were anyway. Business is realizing they've got to price in the carbon. They have to price in the price of carbon, and so there's so much. I think.
What are you doing, Al Gore? How are you agreeing with him? Yep. You should be like, what?
Yeah, anyway, look, one more question here. Is it too late to address the climate change?
Egress. Okay, ingress is allowing something in. So if you're saying ingress for climate change, that means you're taking climate change in. If you say egress, you're pushing it away. Interesting. Yeah, I'd be confused.
Well, I'm so glad to hear you talking about that as eloquently as you do, Joe.
What are you doing? He's not eloquent at all.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know. We cannot let...
What the fuck was that? That was him at zero brain power.
We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. I mean, think about it. We have to.
What was that? I couldn't even pretend to be that inarticulate. I don't know what the hell's going through his mind, but I don't know what he tried to say either.
Take care of the cure.
that will make the problem worse no matter what. I tell you what, I'm so darn proud. And those poor people who have lost, anyway.
This is sad, man. Like, the guy's mind is no more. It's fractured. Do you see that? He struggled. He was trying to find the idea and memory of what he was trying to say as he was speaking, and he just couldn't find it. And it's sad because he has a disease that's irreconcilable, right? He has a disease he has no control over. Dementia is something I would never wish on my worst enemy. All right, this is tragic.
Have you been tested for some degree of cognitive decline?
I've been tested and I'm constantly testing.
Have you taken a cognitive
No,
test?
I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test?
I feel for the guy, man. Like, he has no control over the disease which is ravaging his mind. You know, I've come to the conclusion now that he has some form of cognitive decline. It's probably some form of dementia, and it's just tragic because he's being played like a puppet. It's now raining. Holy shit. Whatever. He's being played like a marionette by his party, right? It's just really sad to see, and like, I feel bad for making fun of it. Some of these things are funny, though, but it's sad.
Right. You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay.
I'd be nervous too.
Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
No, we need to test your mental faculties, man, because just for the sake of your health, if we could prolong some form of sentience within you until... shit. Okay, I gotta close the window. Hold on, guys. Alright. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that now.
Your husband has been known to make the occasional gaffe?
Nope.
The gaffe issue is over because...
Over. So over.
By the way, this is my little sister Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh no, you switched on me.
Uh-oh. He can't remember who's who now. That is another symptom of dementia. Okay, what do we got so far, guys? He can't string a sentence together. He can't remember what he's talking about as he's talking about it. He needs notes to be put up by his wife for him to remember things that are important. He doesn't remember where he is, the locations of where he is. He doesn't remember who's who in his family.
This is my wife, this is my sister. They switched on me. All right, Chuck, thank you very much.
All right, it's Chris, but anyway.
See,
Why the hell would I take a test? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump, who brags about his tests and makes your mental state an issue for voters?
Well, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I just can't figure the guy. It's like watching a yo-yo. I shouldn't have said it that way. It's like watching.
It feels that way. I want to ask.
Donald Trump does pose an existential threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
Existential?
Why doesn't he just act like a president?
Wait. You're getting nervous, man. Look, you're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
A lot of guys want me to...
I'm not worried.
That's a stupid way to say it.
You know,
I guess,
Donald
but
Trump
I
was
really
asked
wish
on.
Sorry.
She's such an angel, man. Like, she's trying to be so polite and smile and nod. And even Biden here knows that something's wrong. Something's fundamentally wrong.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
See him?
No, I probably best I don't.
Well, Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden's getting attention for using a teleprompter before answering a voter's question.
There's 60 million Americans saying that they would vote for a union today.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like somebody with a question impromptu, does it?
I would like to know, what will your administration do to help give them that chance?
That does not sound like a natural question. My question would be, you seem to be on some sort of mental decline. You can't remember where you are, who members of your family are. You can't string a sentence together. You lose your train of thought constantly. You refer to things that were popular back in the day, right? Back in the day, meaning decades ago, trying to connect with the current society. And these are all indicative of mental decline. Now, what do you have to say on that? That would be a good question. Not this thing.
Thank you.
Let's move it up here.
He looks so tired.
You know, there used to be a basic bargain in this country. Workers shared in the wealth their work helped create.
That sounds like communism. That's essentially what communism is. You work and you enjoy the splendors of your work. And it's all very nice until it's actually put into practice and the state takes all your shit.
You know, you're used to seeing your political leaders be able to do the Q&A off the cuff.
Look, one of the things that that I think is really important is that we somehow put that back on. There's somehow that we're in a situation where we.
So the teleprompter failed, and he's just going. The thing I really like to say is a thing that's very important to this whole movement. Put that back up, please, God.
We work together. In addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we are. Well, let me go to the second thing. Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. In January of.
So the black community has no diversity in it, no diversity of thought, no diversity of culture. Is that what you're saying?
2018. I found myself in a circumstance where, 2012, and I was waiting for a black man, Tom, to come and pick me up from Philadelphia, a guy named Barack Obama, on the 17th of January to take me to Washington, a trip I've made 1,000 times, commuting every day, to be sworn in as president and vice president.
So help me God.
So help me God. Fact is that the bills that the future president here, that the senator is talking about, I hear this large savings. The president thinks, my friend from Vermont thinks that the employer is going to give you back if you negotiate his union all these years. Got to cut wages. I took on Putin in terms of Iraq. In terms of.
You and Putin are not alike in the slightest. Putin is. Have you heard Putin talk? He is very eloquent. He thinks before he speaks. I don't like him as a leader, but he is far more intelligent than you, Joe. And whatever.
What was going on in Ukraine? I've taken on these leaders around the world. I'm the guy that's gone in and met them. I've taken on all these leaders. U.S. troops died in Iran and Afghanistan. That's like just flat out acknowledging we've been doing everything we can do to keep Biden from being the nominee, and guess what? We tried it in Iraq. It's not working, so now we're going to try. In Iran. Excuse me. We tried in Ukraine because they invaded another country and annexed a significant portion of it called Crimea. Right. He's saying that it was my boss. It's his.
Holy shit! He forgot Obama's name.
Look, we provide a Medicare option. That's exactly what Brock and I talked about in the beginning.
Barack is now rap rock. I'm laughing, but I shouldn't be laughing. I feel bad.
Through though. No, we couldn't get. But now, I got assault weapons banned for 10 years. It had to be reauthorized because of hanging chads in Florida. The last president said, "No, I'm not going to reauthorize it." And folks, one of the things I'm proudest of is getting passed, getting moved, getting control of the Paris Climate Accord. I'm the guy that came back after meeting with Deng Xiaoping and making the case that I believe China would join if we put pressure on them. We got almost 200 nations to join. I watched what happened when the kids from Parkland marched up to, and I met with them, and then they went off to up on the hill when I was vice president. They went off the hill. And then we had another program that the court said, well, you don't have executive authority to do that on our own. It was okay, all right.
I've had enough. We have enough evidence. We're not watching the whole thing. This video is too long. Holy crap, look at the image quality. Alright, it's thundering out. That's actually not a bad image. Anyway, this video is too long, so we've come to the conclusion that he is indeed suffering from some sort of mental decline. I'm not a physician. I'm going to pretend to be one. He has dementia. He has all the classic symptoms. He can't remember his family members, who they are. We've seen evidence of that. He can't remember where he is, what state he's in, what community center he's in, or whatever. He has memory difficulties mid-sentence. He cannot remember what he's trying to say mid-sentence. And he also has trouble stringing words together. And we're not just talking about a lisp here. He's a blah blah and the thing blah. He can't put it together. So all of these things are indicative of dementia. So that's the diagnosis. Take care.